And we're live, are we?
Yep.
Hello,
Yeah.
welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with myself, Paul from Host for Ghosts, Andrew from South Coast Ghosts, Julia from Paranation Events, Paula from somewhere in Portsmouth, and Luke, we're not sure where Luke is. He's in a darkened room, but we will find him one day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's hiding in the dark. Anyway, welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live. We had an epic paranormal investigation on Saturday with Paranation at Shepton Mallet Prison, which was just lived up to its name. So if you're watching on, send us in your comments. If you were there, send us in and we can chat about your comments, or if you want to come on, come on and talk about your experiences at Shepton Mallet Prison. Hi, Snapper 85. Hi, guys.
Can I just
Hang on, Jen.
Can Angela send Gemma the link because she's trying to get on?
Can you send? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did put it in the chat, but I'll try again.
Yeah, I just see her put something on Facebook.
Sorry about that. So we all had our own experience at Shepton Mallet, a long paranormal investigation overnight from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Some made it all the way, some didn't. Some scarpered at about 1:15 to 2 in 2 degrees temperature. So we're going to talk a bit about tonight about our own experiences there. We'll start with Julia because she's got a really fascinating experience to share with us, and then we'll all add our bit in there. Unfortunately, Paula couldn't make it, or Gemma, so they can listen and comment on what we had or ask questions. So if you have any comments, please comment in the box. Angela will see it and then she'll put it on the screen and we'll be able to talk to you. Hi, Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
Well done. You're on.
Sorry we're a bit late. It was my fault. I delayed everybody with something.
So, Saturday night at Shepton Mallet. Dora.
Hi, Dora.
Hi, Dora.
Hello.
So, Saturday night, Shepton Mallet. It was an epic ghost night that night. It lived up to its reputation. We all experienced individual things. Myself and Dora and Nigel saw something that completely blew us away. And
Yeah.
what we do, we'll go to Julia first because she's done a really interesting experiment. And if you go on the page of the Paranation page, you'll see the experiment and how it worked. And it was an incredible footage. So well done, Julia. So we'll go to Julia and she'll talk you through her experiences at Shepton Mallet. Julia.
Evening, everybody. We had an absolutely amazing time. It was the first time I had ever been to Shepton Mallet, and it was a sleepover, so we were there 8 till 8. I stayed awake all through the night, but it did take some doing. I went to B Wing on my own about 6 a.m. and it was still very dark. And I was just videoing with my phone, and I was just sort of saying to everybody, "Oh, I'm here. It's in the dark." I just went through the door, B Wing, and I was just saying how I was just standing there, just panning my phone around and just talking. And I stopped for a moment. I thought I just heard something. Carried on talking, and then I heard it again. When I played my phone back, I heard "yep," and then I heard "yep." So. So if anyone ever goes back, I would suggest just poking your head through the door of one of the wings and just
Evening, Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Welcome.
And just panning about and just doing a bit of videoing. But the idea was I was going to maybe sort of walk along the wing, but I couldn't. It was so chillingly scary because when I heard those yeses or yeah, I thought to myself, no. If I had a phone with me, I might. It's like going down in the cell in Winry Manor. With me and Gemma, it'd be very difficult to do it on your own without getting freaked out. But earlier in the evening, there was myself, Ian, Stephen. There was some other people around us as well, and we were just sitting on the ground floor, one of the wings. Ian threw his glow-in-the-dark ping pong ball. I thought, I'll throw mine as well. So I said, can you throw it back? Threw the ball, Did it a few times. Anyway, I threw it at one point and it went bounce, 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 up, and then bounce back to me. We did think maybe it hit something on the floor, which made it sort of like bounce back.
Yeah.
And being a ghost hunter, everything's recorded most of the time. And when I played it back, I lightened the video, and to me, I was doing it yesterday afternoon with like really tired eyes. To me, it looks like someone's crouching down like that, like throwing the ball back.
Uh.
And then I've got like an orb going like up the left-hand side of me. So I don't know, it might be tired eyes, or it might actually be someone crouching in front of me, throwing the ball back. So
Wow.
that's I've posted that up in the group. I'll post on the pages as well. But that must have been one of my, what with that and I could hear people calling out while I was, and there was no one there. Everybody was asleep or in the base room. No one was there.
Wow. And is that
So
the
those are
only
my
wing you
two.
got stuff in that wing?
No, I got the voices in B wing, and I can't remember that it goes. I just got lost. I don't know what wing it was where we got the ball being thrown back. I don't know what wing it was, but it was one of the wings.
It's a
It
place that you can
might have
wander
been
and get
C wing.
lost, isn't it?
I didn't know where I was half the time. It's vast, and I think if you're with a few people, it's not so scary. But if you go wandering off on your own, and even outside, I went out and I wandered up sort of like to where the infirmary was, because I thought, I want to try and see if I can get anything on
Yeah.
my own. And I was just outside, just walking up the path, and you couldn't walk very fast on your own. You just felt there's just something there, when you start walking and you're like, I just want to turn around and like go back.
Yeah. What did we say, Dora,
That was
when we
my
walked
feelings.
outside?
I think
Okay.
outside was more eerie than inside.
Yeah, definitely. When we were outside, we were wandering along, weren't we? And the first thing we said was, "There's someone walking behind us." And
Yeah.
we kept looking behind us, and you just had that feeling that someone was really close, not away, but right on you. Do you know what I mean? Sort of, you think if you turn around, they're going to be right in your face. And I said to Dora, "Are you feeling this person walking behind us?" And we went, "Yeah, yeah." And we both looked around. And of course, it's like exactly what you said, Julia. There was nobody there. We're thinking,
Yeah.
"Oh, not so sure about this being outside."
This was like
So,
around like the hard outside the Royal Infirmary where the hard labour
yeah,
outside bit was, and no, I don't know. It just, you just wouldn't want to like walk around too far on your own without being very close to, safety, really.
when I walked across that courtyard, and I walked across there, I think on my own a couple of times, backwards and forwards. I was going. It felt like I was pushing through a crowd of people, but there was nobody there. It was only me walking back to the base room to get something, I think, get my voice recorder. And it was like I was wasn't walking in straight. I was walking sort of side to side, like I was dodging people. It really felt crowded as I was walking that way. And I thought, I don't know, maybe it's just cold out here, and sort of sped up a little bit quicker because I'm quite brave. I'm not too worried. But that time I felt, like I was walking in and out of people. I don't know whether anybody else felt that there, but I know. What else did you get, Julia?
What else did we get? Oh, should I? It was such a long night. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to think. What else did I get? I can't remember. It will come to me. There must have been other
yeah.
things that happened. Oh, got some interesting glass moving. Glass was like
Oh,
moving really fast at one point.
mm,
We tried to get the planchette. We tried to get them to write their names, but that didn't really. They were trying, but you couldn't really make out what they were saying. We tried to get around most of it, and we had that map, but it's like when you try to get to where you wanted to go, it seemed you didn't quite get there, if you see what I mean.
yeah,
It was just trying to navigate the place, but I think,
yeah,
if you go back and you're more familiar with it, but that was my first
yeah.
time there, and we went to morgue, went to where they hung people, and I think where we went where they were where they hung people, my EMF seemed to be not my EMF, my REM pod seemed to be playing up,
Mm.
and it was just when we were in one of the wings, it was just on constantly, and I thought, oh, there's something wrong with it.
Mm.
So anyway, I turned it off because it was so ear pierced. It's got this ear piercing screech to it,
Yeah.
and so I thought, oh, I'm going to turn it off. I'm not going to use it. We went up to where the hangman thing is. I thought, oh, I'll give my REM pod another go. And I said, I think it's broken. I think I have to buy another one because it doesn't turn off. When you turn it on, it's just this ear piercing, like all the time. Beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep. So when we went to the hangman bit, I put it on the side and it stopped. The beeping stopped. And I was like, oh, okay, it stopped. And then we got someone touching it. And who was with me? Somebody was with me. And they said, I think it was Cheryl. She said, can you let go? Can you let go of it now? And it stopped beeping.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
it started beeping again. And then I said, for Christ's sake, I said, just get your hand off of it. And
Too
then
late for this.
and then Cheryl goes, yeah, can you leave it, please? And it stopped. And she goes, maybe it's because I said please. And I said, well,
Yeah.
said, it's so loud that I just said, for God's sake, take your hand off of it.
How funny. How
So
funny.
that was also very interesting.
Yeah.
But just overall, just to be in the place was enough, for the, but to get some real, we got some really good things. I'm still going to find, I think I got a photo when I was going for my footage yesterday, a photo of like, it looks like a man standing on one of the higher levels of one of the
Okay.
prisons, like leaning over the bar, looking down. So
Oh, wow.
still got loads of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
But I'm really really pleased. I had a lovely night, great people,
Yeah. Yeah.
great team because I got so much good feedback.
Nice.
That it just goes to show that we loved being there, we loved doing what we did, and and everybody had a great time.
Yeah. So Gemma's put, did anyone use a board and got any names or any devices? I did. I'll tell you what me and Dora and Nigel and a few others got in the execution room. Wasn't it, Dora?
Yeah.
We got some real good EVPs in it. I don't know how I do it, but I seem to get them, and Dora got some on her phone as well.
Yeah.
So I kept saying, Dora, put your phone on and I'll put mine on, we'll see what we can get. So our experience, we'll talk about ours, Dora, shall we? In Sea Wing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Oh,
went to
anytime.
Sea
Yeah.
Wing. So we were in there and we were wandering up and down aimlessly, and then we seemed to come to a halt outside cell 7. So Nigel said, oh, I know, I'll put some cat balls in the cell and see what happens. So he put a couple of cat balls in there and we stood outside, didn't we? 5-10 minutes, wasn't it, Dora, asking out?
Yeah.
And then the cat ball lit up on the shelf just inside cell 7 door. So we're thinking, oh, that's quite good. Can you light the one that's on the floor? And it lit the other one, didn't it? What about the one on the shelf? And it was doing it alternately. Thought, well, that's quite good. And then we thought we heard a few noises, didn't we? A few bits and pieces.
Someone knocked the door behind us.
Yeah. So it's there. We heard the door go knock, 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 like on the door, and we're all turning around looking at each other thinking, who was that? But we were sort of away from the door. And I was standing in the doorway and I said to Dora, take a picture. Because I felt what looked like somebody put their hand on my shoulder.
Yeah, I said to you, someone standing behind you.
And Dora said, there's someone behind you. And I thought I felt like someone touched my shoulder. I said, Dora, take a picture, quick. And the picture was really weird, wasn't it, when it came out? It was like,
you have no feet.
I had no feet. The feet were missing from the picture.
Or bloody.
Yeah. I don't know, it couldn't make sense of the picture, could we? And then we were standing there calling out like we do. And look, I think Luke was there with us that time. Were you there, Luke? Or was that the next time we went? I think it was me, Nigel and Dora the first time round.
Yeah.
So I took Dora because she wanted to go to Sea Wing. And then we're doing some, what was that second time? Then I think, that's right, me, Dora and Nigel came out and we thought we were coming back to a different wing, but we ended up back in Sea Wing again, didn't we?
Every
It's like
each time we walk around, we'll end up there.
It was like we couldn't get out of this wing, you know. We went out one door round and then back in, and we're back in the
happened to
same
us.
wing again.
That happened
We're
to us
thinking,
as
why are
well.
we back here again? It was like we couldn't get out. They didn't want us to get out of that wing.
Yeah, and every
saying-
time we get back in, or something's happened.
Yeah, something happened. And then went back, and then I think Luke joined us then. So we wandered off with Luke, Lynn, Amy, myself, Dora. I think Nigel was there, wasn't he, with us that time?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. And then again, for some reason, I said, yeah, we'll go this way. We'll try a different wing. And we ended back in C wing again. I don't know how we ended up back there, but we ended up back at cell 7 again. Like we were in some sort of time thing where we were stuck. We were just going around the same thing. We couldn't find a way out. So we had the one of the apps running, and we had to bang on the door, and what we sounded like footsteps up above us. And then we heard the name Francis.
That was it, yeah.
Said out loud, and we're thinking, Francis? Who's Francis then? And then I think it was Luke. Was it you, Luke, that said she was the wife of one of the Grey twins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Reggie, yeah.
And when we realised on the wall by the cell 7 was where they were. There's a big poster on the wall telling you about them, wasn't it? It wasn't until they said Francis that we saw the poster on the wall with the Grey twins. That was their cell 7. And that's exactly where me and Jen got contact when we went a few years ago, right outside that cell. So we carried on, and then I said, I know what we do. We'll put a laser grid up on the end. So we put a laser grid up there, and there's a few bits of tapping and all sorts of bits and pieces, nothing really to write home about. And then suddenly we saw, I thought it was Lynn, and I said to Luke, is that your mum? Wasn't it, Luke?
It was, yeah.
And we saw movement down the corridor on the left-hand side. We're thinking, who's saying to Lynn, Lynn, move about so we can see if it's yours. So she moved. We said, Amy, you move. And then I'm saying to Luke, it can't be your mum, look. And bugging me, it was down on C Wing where, was it the women's work room or something?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
There was someone, a shadow, poking their head out from the doorway. I saw it, Luke saw it, and we're like, are you seeing this? And then Nigel saw it. He said, oh my God, look, there's someone sticking their head out the door, and literally the head and shoulders of a shadow coming out into the laser beam. So Dora said, well, I'll go down and have a look. So Dora wandered down there, and then she disappeared down the corridor to the end. And even when Dora in the corridor, whatever it was, kept sticking its head out as a shadow, you saw the, didn't we, Luke? We kept saying it's there. Dora's going, where is it? We're saying it's there, Dora. She's going, there's nothing in here. So we made Dora come back out so we could try and discount her shadow coming out. And obviously, as Dora came out, her shadow was huge on the wall. But this shadow was like, how tall would you say it was, Luke? It wasn't very tall, was it?
No, quite short.
And it kept sticking its head out with its shoulders out the doorway. And even when Dora was in there, it did it a couple of times. And then Dora came out. And then we just stood there looking. And we all walked down there in the end. And there was no one there. There was no one in there. No one. So that was I think if that's the only thing I'd have got that night, that would have been good for me. So from there, we went to, where did we go then? We went to the execution room, didn't we, Dora?
Yeah.
So we went to the execution room where there was noises and what we thought were footsteps, wasn't it? But we weren't sure quite what we were hearing in there. So I run the recorder, and then we would listen back to it, and we heard Sarah. It was Sarah. It was saying Sarah.
Sarah was there, wasn't she?
She was next to me. She's like, can you hear my name? And it's like, Sarah. We're like, oh, wow. And then a William came through. I thought, William? So said, oh, hi, William, come and join us in the room, blah, that sort of stuff. And then had a few bits of like a conversation. And then I recorded on the third or fourth part. And I listened back to it a bit yesterday. And right at the very last bit, right in the distance, I can hear what sounds like Pier Point. I'm thinking, what? Point? What's it on about? Point? Then I realised what it said. Pierpoint. Charles Pierpoint was the executioner at Shepton Mallet.
Oh.
He was the executioner. He was the one. I think it was Charles or one of the Pierpoints. They used them to execute the Nazis in the Nuremberg trials when they were, and the Pierpoints were the executioners for the Nazis,
Hmm.
and they were the very famous for the executioners in Shepton Mallet.
We
It was like
also
a
got
brothers.
on, I think it was the Spirit Talker. It came out with Johnson, and
Oh,
we're
did it?
like, oh, Johnson. And I said, along there's the Johnson's quarters, which I think they must have been some sort of governors or something, because
Right.
it's like really nicely set out with nice furniture and everything. And I said, along there is the Johnson's quarters.
Wow.
We also had the music box going off. I think in the same area where we got the ball thrown back at us. And also we had someone called Terry come through, and we put the light box. Apparently he was outside. His cell was number 7, because we got the glass to do the number 7. Excuse me, number 7 of the where he was talking too much. The 7 of the cell, because we said, "What's it? Can you use the glass to do the number of your cell?" And it was 7. And we put from what I believe. So we had the growl. Oh wow,
So,
same cell.
isn't it funny? Isn't it? It's all cell 7.
Yeah. And we put the light box down, and I was going right in the doorway, and I said, Terry, can I come in your cell? And it did like 1 flash for yes and 2 for no. That's how it was working. And he was going, yes. And it's going, no, yes, no. I was going, Terry, can I come in your cell? Can I come in your cell? Can I come in your cell, Terry? And I said, I'm going to just go in your cell then. But that was quite interesting. Oh my, there's so much that happened. It's all coming back to me now. It was a good night.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's not so much visual, but a lot of audible activity. A lot of audible activity there. And we had that before when I went with Jen. Lots of audible activity. But when you sort of go there and it's a little bit lit, it's all right. But when it goes out and it goes dark, it completely changes, doesn't it? That place, especially you're walking down these corridors and you're thinking, "Oh, this is a bit dark, isn't it?" You shouldn't be. You got your torches on, ain't you? But you're so busy looking everywhere else. So that was quite interesting in getting the name Pierpoint, and it'll say he was the executioner in Shepton Mallet Prison. Him and his brothers, they're very famous executioners. What else, Luke? What else did you have, Luke? Because you wandered, didn't you?
Well, I thought I saw a white figure running from one building to the other.
Where was that?
I was with my mum outside, and I saw it running across from the base room to the building next to the base room, which is above it is the chapel, and I think is a kitchen or something like that.
All right.
It's like a thin white figure, seems like a teenage boy or something like it resembles, I think.
Huh.
Don't know if it's my eyes or not. It's weird. We're very quick in a flash.
Did you go and have a look?
Well, the door, you couldn't get in that building. It was locked. The other building was where the chapel
Oh,
was.
right. Where the chapel was, yeah. The chapel was locked.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of the other building was. I think the chapel was locked.
Yeah, there's a
I
kitchen.
think the lady said there was something wrong with the fire door or
The
something.
kitchen area is locked as well.
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
There's another kitchen there underneath the chapel.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
I think they
Oh,
had
right.
problems or something. Was it with the roof or something?
Something like that. She said about a door or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They couldn't let anybody in there because of health and safety, which is fair enough, and you understand that. What else, Luke?
I got followed most of the night. Felt someone behind me quite a lot. It was so scary.
Sure it weren't your mum?
No, I was on my own. When there's no one behind me, on my own.
Well, we all said this, didn't we, so far?
Yeah.
Julia, myself, Dora, that someone was right. They're like right on you, aren't they?
It kept
Feeling
happening
them.
all the time though. For me, it was all night. All night it was. I don't know
Did you
why.
not try and connect? Did you not try and connect with it? Find out who it was and what they wanted.
Just told them to stop following me. Just getting a bit freaked out.
You're there to investigate, Luke. Come on.
You
We
gained
want
a
to see it.
friend. You gained a friend.
I think it was the American soldiers on the where they got executed. I think I picked up that. I think it felt like American soldier.
Right. Should have asked it. Should have tried connected with it. See what he wanted.
Yeah.
I know me and Dora and a couple of others wanted. I took them out to the courtyard where the firing wall was. You know, the firing squad wall. And we had a bit of a funny turnout there, didn't we, Dora?
Oh yeah, very scary.
Really odd, wasn't it? I don't know
Yeah.
what happened. We know what happened there, but
Yeah,
it was the most weird feeling, wasn't it?
yeah. You're not there alone, definitely.
Oh, definitely not.
Because you had your torch on, and you said I turned the torch off. I say yeah. Before you do that, I need to stand close to you because we're not here on our own.
That was funny. Don't turn your torch off yet. Wait till I get right next to you.
Hold hands. Hold hands.
Dora the Explorer.
Oh,
It was quite creepy though, like Julie was saying, when
Yeah.
you're outside.
It is, yeah.
Dora, what was the feel? Jen's asking what the feeling was you were getting.
I felt sick there, very sick.
I felt
There's
sick
lot-
in some of the places as well.
Sick. I felt sick, dizzy, just really not right, you know. And I thought, well, I said to Dora, "This is not right." You know,
Did you
whether
get
you're
anything around the Victorian cells? Did you get anything around there?
when I went round there, I felt lonely. I had a lonely feeling. You know, like you were on.
Because I wasn't there.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I forgot Jen weren't there, was she?
Oh,
I wasn't hearing the tap of a walking stick. That's what that was.
wait, are you sure it's a walking stick? You sure it's a walking stick?
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't have a broomstick.
Jen,
I can
apologies.
vouch for that.
I do.
She does. She said, but no, I went round there, and I got a real feeling of loneliness there. You know, where it had been quite lonely in that place. But other than that, nothing else. What did you feel then, Julia?
We did go, and you had to crawl through a little hole, and some of us did crawl through the hole, and
And we get stuck.
there's a couple of pictures I just want to re-look at there, but yeah, it was we didn't manage to do any experiments around there. It was literally just like going and having a look.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really get anything. Well, we didn't do anything there, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's yeah.
What else did you get, Luke?
Remember in the execution bit, we felt tight around my neck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had to
Got
walk out,
strangled.
didn't you?
You can feel it. My mum did, and Amy did as well. All of us did. Got tight in the throat.
When I was in there with you, your REM pod was going off. That was
That's
before my
right,
REM
yeah.
pod was going off, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, in the corner bit. Yeah.
What, in the corner of the execution room, or in the room before you
Where
get in there?
In the execution room, where they pulled the lever. In that area.
Yeah.
Went off there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Was you asked then out to touch and leave it alone like Julia was doing?
Can't remember, but it stopped in the end. It kept doing it, and it stopped in the end.
Then it started touching mine, but it
Yeah,
wouldn't touch
that's
my
right,
REM
yeah.
pod bear.
Yeah.
It would touch
Strange,
my
isn't
REM
it?
pod aerial, but not the bear.
Isn't it strange how they can touch one instrument and not the other? Because it's the same thing, really, potentially, isn't it? So you think if children was there, they would have gone for the bear, wouldn't you, rather than anything else? Anything else, Luke?
I think that was it, really. All that bit, really.
There's so much more I wish I had
Yeah.
done. But the time just flew. Absolutely flew. I even took a balloon because I thought I'm going to blow a balloon up and put that down. You know, didn't get around to doing that. We didn't even get around to doing the human pendulum because
No.
we just didn't. Because you know, we just like everybody was so excited just to go and look at the place. We all just like branched off, and I said to Angela, I said, you know, towards the end of the night, I said, we haven't even done a human pendulum. Because everybody was just like, you know, there was a lot of groups that came that had the ghost hunting experience. So they just
Yeah.
like went off and they're just so excited. They just wanted to, like Shelley, you know, she was so excited for her first time there as well. They just want to get going. They just
Yeah,
want to get going.
I was like on the lit walk around, wasn't it, with a tour guide? You know, everybody was peeling off. By the end, there was hardly anybody with her because they were so excited to get into the wing.
Go.
And it was like me and Dora, we were wandering around with Nigel. We ain't got a clue where we're wandering. We're just wandering around, and we walked into what was the, I think it was the B wing, Dora, with the cholera and the typhoid room, the dark room that's painted black.
That was A wing.
And we walk round the corner, Julia, and there's a mannequin standing right by the gate,
Oh,
by the jail. If I'd have eaten, I think I probably would have lost it. It fricked the life out. Dora jumped. I jumped. Nigel went, "Oh, what's he doing there?" She did say about mannequins, didn't she?
Mm.
And I completely forgot. As we come around the corner, it's like standing right by the door with his hands on the bar. Of course, it's so dark in there. We're chatting away. Oh my God, me and Dora jumped. I'm not really bothered, but when I walked around the corner, I thought, shit, there's someone standing there. And I went, oh, Dora went, Christ. And we both jumped. And Nigel went, oh my God, what are they doing that to us for? And because it was a really, really dark room, it was quite sinister, a dark room, you know. What are you doing? It was a really dark room. So it made it even worse because you didn't see the mannequin until we actually turned round and then realised it was like, I think it might have been a hospital wing or something like that where they had cholera, typhoid and all sorts of things, and they would put them in them cells on their own. And there's like reenactments, straw on the floor, and it's very, very well done. But Christ, it didn't half make me jump when I walked around the corner. Wasn't expecting anything like that, but that was quite good. That was A wing. But I don't know whether anybody did. You get there, Julia, or Andrew? Did you get to any of them?
I'm not sure where I ended up.
That's a bit like us. We sort of got our bearings, and then we sort of like, oh, we've just been here.
Yeah. I thought, I'll try and go here. It's like, no, I've been here before. That's not where I wanted to go. And I was looking at the map and this doesn't help me. I don't know where.
We tried to find the morgue a few times, and in the end, we did find it. Hi,
Bye, Ryan. Welcome. Nice to have you on here.
But it was just then we wanted to go to the execution shed because it looked quite exciting, and I think it was the execution shed, and we got there, and it was just like a like they have for the troop in a colour type things. You know, those little
Oh yeah, guard sheds.
houses that the guard stands in, and you can only get one man in there. It was like that, and I was like, oh, is this it? I don't think we can go in there and do anything because you're going to get one person in there. But we saw it.
No. Christine's put in A wing. In A wing, we were doing the board, and a young girl named Elizabeth came through, who was imprisoned for stealing an orange.
Gosh,
that was in A wing, and that's
like
where
that,
we
though, wasn't
were. We wandered up there, didn't we, Dora? Up and down a few times in there. But
I
it's
found
very
that wing
strange.
quite eerie. A wing. I think that was I found that quite creepy.
Yeah, there's not something not right in that wing, was it?
And
But
A wing
every
seems
time,
to be different to the other ones. Like B wing is, it's set out how you would expect Shepton Mallet to be set
yeah,
out. But A
yeah,
wing, I think, hasn't it only got cells down one side or something?
yeah. It's only
And
on one side and up, isn't it?
it just feels different. I didn't like.
I don't,
I felt quite spooked in there.
yeah, I don't know why it only had cells on one side. I should have asked the lady, really, because it seemed like we went back, had a cup of tea, and then we said, "Oh, we'll wander off to another wing." And we ended up back in C wing again, didn't we, Dora?
yeah.
It was like something taking us back to, and it was like we were going around as like a maze. We were just going round and ending up back at the same place, weren't we? Thinking, how can we be back here? Because we come out of that door, gone right, then we went left and then right. So how can we've ended up back in the same place we just come from? And just, oh well, we'll just keep going then. And then we went to the execution room and then the morgue. We went down into the morgue.
Did you do
we
anything
read
in the morgue? We didn't do anything. In the
Yeah.
morgue.
Dora did some recording down there, EVP. didn't you, in the morgue,
Yeah.
Dora?
Yeah.
And you picked up some stuff in there, didn't you?
Hold on, I'm just looking at my bit of paper. No, I didn't actually.
I thought there was
I've got in cell 7, I've got EVP which say morgue and in jail.
all right.
Yeah.
That was in cell 7.
Yeah, and when I walked down, you remember, I went on my own down to, you and Nigel stood as we walk
Yeah.
into Wing C, I think that was.
Yeah,
And we see something in the corner, shadow.
yeah,
And I walk on my own down there.
yeah,
And I had my phone on for recording. And as I got close to that corner, I had on the EVP saying, hold on, where that is. I'm right there. I'm right there in like whisper. And
Uh.
as I turn around, just like went around the wing, I've got, what did they told you?
Mm. It's very audible, wasn't it? Well worth
Yeah.
carrying your recorders around with you. Did you run
Yes.
yours, Luke?
No, I didn't in the end, no.
You didn't? Because it's always worth, anybody goes there, it's always worth running your voice recorders on your phone. You know, even if you've got your own recorders, just record. I always do, and I always seem to end up with some good responses. I don't know if it's just sheer luck or what, but
Even on
I
your
think a
phone, you
lot.
can get it, can't you?
Yeah.
I-
Phone
To be
picks them up.
honest,
Phone.
I've got recorder, but I seems to get more on my phone than on recorder.
Because they recorded different hertz, different frequencies.
Mm.
You know, my one I use, it records from 50 hertz to 55,000 hertz, so it has a massive range of hearing. Where I think the human ear is 250 hertz or 2,500 hertz. But a few times I thought I audibly heard a woman's voice when we were down near cell 7, because I kept saying, "Did somebody hear that?" And I thought audibly, you know, and my hearing's not good anymore. But I could have thought I heard this woman's voice. When I played it back, you can just hear it in the background, but audibly, you know, like Julie was saying, yeah, you know, yeah. And I heard it audibly, and I thought, who's that? And when I played it back, it's there. So, you know, you can hear them. And being everybody was spread out as such a vast area, it was very, very quiet in the wings, which was brilliant, you know. And a lot of people had a lot of respect because they were wandering around really quietly, because they go past the corridor at the end of the cells and all that, don't they? And they sort of flash their light in there so you can't see, and then they walk off. But it was very quiet, I must admit. A very good crowd, you know, knew what they were doing, and yeah, it was a very interesting night. So I enjoyed it. But the time flew past. You know, I left about 10 to 2 or something, 1:45, and you know, I looked at the time and I thought, how can it be this late already? You know, we'd wandered around and we've ended up in the same place twice or 2, 3 times, and yet the time had flown past. Like Judy said, the time was flying. You know, all the things you had in your head you were going to do, you never got to do it. It's like, I always take my camera everywhere with me, don't I? I never even put the camera together. Camera was still in my bag unused. And it's most unlike me. I grabbed my recorder, grabbed my laser grid, and never went back. So strange
think-
that I never took the camera.
We were just so excited to be there, weren't we? That we just went out, and then I think I went back and I saw Cheryl, so I said, "Oh, I'll come with you wherever you're going." And we met up with Luke and Lynn, and you know, I only saw you in passing because I think we were coming out the infirmary and you were just going
That's
in.
right. Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
I went back, and Jo, who was absolutely, what a wonderful lady she was, the caretaker. What an
yes,
absolutely wonderful lady. I did send him an email yesterday just to thank Jo and to say that, you know, she was so laid back and she made our event so pleasant and easy to
yeah,
do. There was no sort of like she was just so nice and knowledgeable as
yeah.
well.
Very knowledgeable,
Yeah.
wasn't she? You could go and
And
ask her a question, she would know the answer.
yeah.
Incredible.
absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad we got her. She was brilliant. She kept the
Yeah.
urns topped up and everything, and so easy going. She just made the event so much more. And when I first got there, because we arrived the same time that everybody else was arriving, and I was like, but I don't know, I just felt really relaxed before we went in, and when we went in, everything just flowed so well. People were making themselves comfortable. We were getting set up.
Yeah.
And it just flowed really, really well. And yeah, I couldn't wish it to go any better than it did.
No, it was good. I think, like you say, everybody was so excited to get on with the ghost hunt and get into the prison, because it's such a vast prison, isn't it? There's buildings here, there, and everywhere that you could easily stay overnight, couldn't you? And still keep going.
I do think when it got to about 3, half 3, I think I started to struggle, and I thought, if we did it until 2, whereas I think if I did it again, I'd probably do it till 2.
Yeah.
And I was, I got to half 3, I thought, oh, I could probably be in my bed by now. And when it got to sort of like about sort of, people were trying to sleep in the base room, and what was Ryan say? Jo was awesome. She was. Tried to see if I could find a record of Terence in the prison. She did grab me a record book, to which I found an Arthur who came through in the execution room. So, well done for
Yeah.
that. But
Well,
yeah,
like I said to you, if you come up with names, go and ask her, because they have the records there, and they can look them up for you, or you can look them up. So if you grab a name, we had a few names, didn't we, Luke? Simon, is it Simon Ward or something?
Vincent Smith, I think.
Vincent Smith, that was it. Came through.
Yeah.
So we should have asked her about that, shouldn't we?
I've got the book upstairs. I think I bought it a few years ago.
Oh, did you? See if you can find the name. See if that name comes up.
Yeah, I think it's got a name in there. Yeah.
Is it? Have a look. See if it comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And people were purchasing Shepton Mallet merchandise as well while they were there, weren't they?
They were, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just awesome, absolutely amazing experience. But and even at 6 o'clock, it was still dark, and I went out for a walk just to try and wake myself up a little bit, and then we started to walk around as the sun was rising, and got a few lovely photos of the prison with the sun rising behind it.
Yeah, I saw that. Really good pictures, aren't they? Lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, but I think if I was to do it again, I think I'd probably only do it till 2, because I think personally, I think by sort of like half 2, I think people are starting to flag, and it gets like 3, people are like thinking that they just want to go to sleep. So
yeah, the energy starts to drop, doesn't it? And it's difficult to keep the energy going for such a 12 hours of rushing around the prison. Nobody even youngsters couldn't do that. Eventually you're going to flag it and you start losing your energy, and you drop your energy, and then spirit drop theirs then, and you get a quietness, don't you, in the middle of the night, where it just goes quiet. Like you say, you go outside, get a bit of fresh air to try and build yourself back up again, but eventually you start flagging, don't you? You think, oh, come on, 8 o'clock, that's it, I'm done. So 2 o'clock, half 2 would be a good time, because you'd have been right in the middle of activity, right in the middle of everybody's energy, and then you'd come out at half 2, 2 o'clock or whatever, and think, do you know what a night. I left about 10 to 2, I think, quarter to 2, something like that, and I got in at 20 to 5, Jen, about 20 to 5. So, and it was showing 2 degrees, so it was really cold on the bike.
It was.
I had my Jen put my electric blanket on for me before I got home. She was still awake when I got in at 20 to 5. Yeah.
Yes.
I fell asleep in the chair a few times.
She was worried probably
was
when
a
she
bit.
did come in.
Yeah.
It's I put the heated handle grips on and the heated seat, so that sort of made me nice and comfortable. And then got onto and then riding along, it was like mist and fog, and when it Dora riding all through them lanes trying to get to the 303. So once you're on there, you're heading home, don't you? When you're going down
I had my seat heated in the car, so I got that on the full blast all the way home.
Well, Paul had said to me he hadn't realised how heavy that bike was it kind of put that seed of doubt in my head, thinking, "Oh God, hope you don't come off it," or something like that. You know.
I enjoyed the ride down though. It was
Yeah.
sunshine. It was really.
Yeah.
It was a nice ride down there in the sunshine, and I was quite excited to get to the pub and have a meal and then get to the prison. Really, I think along with everybody else. You know,
I'm
it was a.
pleased you didn't stay. To be fair, I'm pleased you didn't stay all night and stay awake all night and then cycle home. I would have been worried then.
Cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, bike.
I wouldn't have been able to. I'd have had to have a sleep. You know, somewhere along that line, I'd have sat on the stairs somewhere and probably nodded off, or gone in a cell, tried to do something, and just stayed there till the morning.
It's not a comfortable seat though. It's not a proper, decent seat. But yeah.
And Ryan said the meal was absolutely lovely. It was a really nice
Was that the cheesecake and custard.
Cheesecake with custard.
cheesecake with custard.
I sat
Oh,
opposite him and I saw him eat it, and I'm like, surely you're not going to eat it. And he did.
And he ate someone else's, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, I think
Ryan.
he finished, did he finish Cheryl's off?
I think he might have been Cheryl's, yeah. How funny. Cheesecake and custard. Never heard of that. Because we were sitting at the table and they're saying, who's going to ask if they got any custard, wasn't it? So eventually, I think Cheryl's friend said, do you have custard? She said, well, I don't know, actually. She said, well, we'll have puddings if they've got custard. So we'll have to go and ask the chef, come back with a grin on her face, said, yeah, we do have custard. So it was cheesecake and custard. What else was it? Always all sorts. But the food was
Sticky
really
toffee
nice,
pudding.
wasn't it? Oh, sticky toffee pudding, yeah.
Oh, I always had that.
But the food was nice, wasn't it? I always remembered, I'll always be remembered by the staff, says Ryan. I should think with cheesecake and custard, I think they will probably measure. That'll be the next thing on the menu for them. One of the specials, cheesecake and custard. But it was a nice pub. They were very, very quick, weren't they? Serving and clearing up, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, really good meal. Well done, Dora, for getting that.
Yes,
That's
thank
all
you
right.
for all the organising, because I know a lot goes into the organising, and getting the numbers and everything. So I did try, and then I was just like so inundated with everything in the run up to the event. But thank you so much for that. Much appreciated.
That's okay. You're welcome.
So, Angela, you wandered around. Did you get much, or?
Not a great deal, but I do remember walking around the outside. It was all right in sort of one area, but it was walking through that exercise yard bit where I felt like I was being watched sort of quite closely. So I kind of didn't want to look left or right. I said, straight ahead, just go straight ahead.
Was that the one outside the infirmary, or was that the other one where that chess set was?
Yeah, the big square one with the chest set and that. Yeah, I walked through there a couple of times on my own, and I thought I need to go and find where people are, and that's when I found Paul and Dora and Nigel and Luke and Lynn and
That's right, yeah.
people. And then I think another time I thought I'd go for another walk, see if I can find anyone, because you'd gone home at that point, and Dora and Nigel and what's her name, Sarah and James had gone to their van for a sleep. I thought, right, I'll go and find somebody. And I went outside and up these steps into, well, I don't know where I was, but I was in somewhere, and I thought I could hear voices. So I sort of started going along the thingy, and I thought, no, there's not actually anyone in here. So then I came back out again.
No.
I could I had in my head Paul saying, don't go anywhere alone. So I was like, no, you're stupid. Go and find people.
But that just goes to show there was something there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the other thing I can remember was before the whole thing started, and Julia was doing a welcoming talk, and the front door opened.
Oh yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
I looked at you, and you looked at me, didn't you? And even that Jo went over, didn't she?
Yeah, and you said, "There's look behind Lynn." And
yeah.
She shut the door, didn't she? She shut the door when we started.
Yeah, when you started your talk, you were chatting away. Me and Angela was sort of slightly back behind you, and Dora's to my right-hand side, I think.
Yeah.
And I had the door open like someone was coming in late. And I sort of looked over and I thought, oh, there's no one there. And I said
the
to
main
Angela,
gate was shut, wasn't it? The main gate.
Yeah.
So no one got in.
And then Angela looked at me and went, someone just come in the door.
No
so that
way,
Joe
I
said,
didn't know about that.
She said, oh, who's outside? I thought I got everybody in. And she went out and looked outside. She went, oh, there's nobody here. And she come back and said, oh, that's strange.
No
But
way.
the door actually, we heard the door open, didn't we, Angela? We thought it was someone late arriving. And literally the big door where we
Didn't
were
even
standing.
notice that. I think because I was just like, I
Yeah,
didn't even
you were
notice
so
that.
busy in your talk, you know,
Yeah.
your health and safety and stuff like that.
It wasn't
Oh.
really
And
a
I-
door that could open with the
And I
wind.
thought, I wonder who that could be coming in late.
But it wasn't a
And it was
windy
not-
night that I can remember.
No.
No, it wasn't.
Because it had been
And
a
then we-
beautiful day.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then we're standing there. Lynn was down the bottom, by the bottom door.
Yeah, I stood
And I
behind
said to
her and I
Angela-
could hear behind. Yeah.
I said to Angela, look behind Lynn. Look behind
Mm.
Lynn. Because that hallway light kept going on and off, didn't it, at first, Angela? And then me and Angela were standing there looking, and it just looked like someone was moving behind her in the corridor, didn't it?
Mm.
But-
Yeah.
When I was doing the welcome talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stood behind Lynn and I could hear it
Yeah.
in the hallway. And when Paul talked to Angela and he looked at me and I went,
I
yeah,
was looking at
I knew
Dora
what he
going,
was talking.
there's someone
I didn't
standing
know
there.
this. I didn't know this.
Because the door behind Lynn was shut. But when I saw this person, the door was open because it looked like a corridor behind Lynn. And then when the light came on, the door was shut and there was nobody there.
Sweet.
But there was someone standing there in that doorway.
Yeah.
And I looked straight down at Dora. Angela's looking down with me. And I'm looking at Dora nodding. And Dora knew exactly what I was going on about.
Yeah.
She was going like that. So what did you hear, Dora? Someone walking or just noises?
Yeah. Noises and walking.
So,
So it was
Yeah.
kicking off as soon as we got in there then.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
We
the
had
front
a door closing. You know
Yeah.
that entry from that base room says entry to the prison.
Yeah,
We sat in the base room having tea and that door started closing
That's
and you
right.
can hear what's that? Turn around, the doors was closing on
the
the
door
wall.
was shut,
No one
wasn't it?
there.
Yeah. It was all it was quite on one. You know, as soon as you got in there it was up and away with itself. So very audible. You know, I was pleased we saw the shadow figure in the doorway. You know, and
Yeah.
even Dora going down there to debunk it. And even when Dora was in the corridor, it still came out, didn't it, Luke? It was still sticking its head out. We
I
kept
put
saying,
hands next to it, innit?
Yeah. It's got to be Lynn. It's got to be Amy. No, it can't be. It's not Luke. It's not me. Because we were all shuffling around trying to make the shadow on the wall, and we could not do it. And yet it was there, wasn't it, Luke? It just plain as day, looking out round the corner.
Like this.
Yeah. So I don't know who it was, but there was, you know, that I was thinking, and for Nigel to say, "There's someone there. Look, there's someone." And Nigel's quite a skeptic. You know, he's he's very on his game, Nigel. And he said to me, "There's someone there. Look." He's going, look. I said, "Yeah, look, watch." And at first, me and Luke thought we saw movement right in the bottom left-hand corner, wasn't it, Luke?
That's right, yeah.
I said, "Luke, you see a movement down there?" And he said, "Well, there's something moving." And then as we looked, sort of panned slightly to our left in the doorway, it's when we saw it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said, "Luke,
When you
look in the
put
doorway."
laser grid.
And it sort of highlighted the shadow, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Gemma's put, it sounds like you all had an amazing and very active and hot time. It was. It sort of, I say, when Julie was doing the talk in the base room and the main door opened as you go in, like where the shop is, and I literally thought it was someone late coming in. Because I thought, well, that's funny, because she locked the main gate as we came in, didn't she?
It's quite a heavy
thought,
wooden door as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like two
Yeah.
wooden doors.
Yeah. And it literally went like somebody shut it. And I looked up and Joe was like standing between me and Angela, and Joe was like to Angela's left.
The
And
caretaker.
I looked at Angela and looked over at the door and I went, oh. And Angela went, yeah, look at the door. And then Joe went, someone's just come in the door. And she went, oh, I'll go and have a quick look. And she wandered off, came back. She said, there's nobody out there. She said, that's very interesting. I've never had that before. So someone obviously followed us in there.
We missed
And
you,
he-
Gemma, as well. We missed you loads.
Yeah.
And Paul, I missed you being there as well.
Yes. Yes. Back up.
Next
But
time.
yeah, it was a very active and a really good place So I highly recommend to anybody to go there, even during the
When
day.
you go
Go
back.
there and have a look at it. It's a good. It's a place that I think it would be good, a team building exercise where you just had a team go in there and no one else,
Mm.
because it's such a vast place that you could have one person in each wing, so you
Yeah.
spread all your team out through the whole of the prison, so you'd be all on your own. I'm sure Julia would be up for that.
I did it on B Wing on my own, and my idea was, because everybody was like settling down, I thought, right, I'm going to go on my own. I'm going to get some really good stuff. Well, I was hoping that I'd be able to walk up one of the wings and do some recording and not see anything. But when I played it back Sunday in the safety of my own home, I would see something. I managed to get through the door and started recording, and something, I don't know, inside me said, no, I really don't fancy walking up there on my own.
Mm.
I heard a couple of voices like saying, yep, and then, yeah. And I was like, they're goading me to go in. And I thought, no, I can't do it. If somebody was with me, 2 of us, I could have done it. But on my own, I thought, no. Imagine if somebody, one of them pushed me down the stairs or something. I thought, no.
Yeah, that's why it's always better to go in. Never go on your own and cope. Just and that can happen. There, it's a prison. It's a
Yeah.
prison full of negativity. It could happen. You could
Yeah.
get pushed.
You know,
you could
even you
get,
sleep down or something,
yeah.
And I
Well, you
just
could
thought,
go in the
trip
cell and the
over
door slam.
something.
I was like, no,
Yeah.
can't really go forward any further. It was quite scary.
When self-preservation comes in, doesn't it? You think
Mm.
this is not right, and this is what we say in other podcasts, isn't it? Listen to what your body tells you, because it knows whether it's wrong or right. Forget your equipment. If your body says this is not right, then it's telling you the right thing at the right time, isn't it? It's time to get out. If you'd have been in one of them cells, because we opened the cupboard door on one cell and we heard the cupboard door bang shut,
Yeah.
so we knew there was something in there. So we all went, "What was that bang?" And I'd opened the cupboard doors in one of the cells, and one of the doors was shut. So the bang was the door shutting. So
Yeah.
I think if I'd have heard that on my own and been in there like you, Julie, I think I'd have thought, "Oh, maybe I need to walk out of here." Because if it's 2 of you, you're quite brave. If it's 1 of you, you're not at all brave, are you?
I think one person in a cell, on a wing, on their own, I think that would be quite chilling, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think
We could,
that would test even one of the hardest ghost hunters. That would really sort of like test them.
you could do an Estes method, couldn't you, in one of the cells?
That's an idea.
Have, have a
next time.
radio, have a walkie-talkie, leave someone in a cell, and then you could talk by walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I'll be all right with that.
One of them.
I'll be
One
all
of
right
the
with
doors.
that.
I know there is rumours that one of the doors do shut, doesn't it? On number 1, I think it is on one of the levels. It
Does
shuts
it?
automatically on its own. Yeah. Somebody got stuck in there and they freaked out.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's a
It
heavy
wouldn't
door for
surprise
some
me.
reason.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me that if someone got shut in there.
Yeah. It went
Not in the
automatic.
least.
The ghost shut him in there. That's the thing. Shut
Yeah.
the door and they were stuck in there. So that's a freak out, isn't it?
You could imagine doing an Estes method with you blindfolded, you can't hear anything,
Oh.
and open your eyes and the doors slam shut and you can't get out.
Yeah.
You can imagine the language on the radio could be quite choice, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And then
I
it's trying to
also
find
had
that cell again.
I also had
Who's-
some dowsing rods, and because we were trying to find out what cell Terry was in, and I had a dowsing rod, and I was walking down, and I said, dowsing rods, can you point to the cell that Terry was in? And I was walking down, and they swung right and pointed right at his cell. So that was another
Really?
thing.
Wow.
Gemma says, so who's going back? Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should go back
soon as.
just a team.
Yeah, maybe finish it at 2, because then at least, even if you've got like a 2-hour trip home,
Yeah. It's
at
a
least you'll be
sensible
home
time,
about 4, and
Yeah.
even if you sleep until, I don't know, say 9, at least you've got some decent sleep
5 or 6 hours,
before
isn't
the
it? Yeah.
morning. You
Is
know,
that
going
is
to bed
that
at 10 and then waking up, you know, a few hours later, I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this.
it's jet lagged, isn't it? It's
That's
like you're jet
exactly
lagged.
how you
Isn't it?
feel. Exactly how you
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, I was when I woke up, and I thought, oh my god, you know.
How am I going to get through the day? I just want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
I wish it was like 8
Just want
o'clock.
to go.
Go
So
back
I
to
said,
bed.
Jen, all I want to do is sleep, go to sleep. We had a few
Yeah.
bits and pieces to do here anyway, so we were like, oh god. Because Jen was tired because she'd been up,
Yeah.
obviously
Waiting.
backwards
Yeah.
and forwards in the sofa, on the chair, asleep. So not really fully asleep, but bless her. Anyway, so is that all the comments? Anybody got anything else they want to add? Would like to add? No.
No.
So next week, hopefully, we've got a couple of lads coming on that
Mhm.
talk about their experience on Shepton Mallet. They were there the first time with Paranation, and they've thoroughly had a really, really good time. So they're willing to come on next week and chat about their experiences. And they've also done the Zach Bagans Museum in Los Angeles or
Oh,
Las Vegas. So they're going to talk
Las
about
Vegas,
that as
that
well.
is.
So that'll be quite interesting. Only
Mhm.
young lads, but they were. He said, you know, he had such good fun. It was such great laugh, and you know, really, really took seriously, and everybody's brilliant. So that was really nice comment
And
to
quite
go down.
relaxing as well, wasn't it? I found that
Yeah.
even though we you know we were sold out, we had a lot of people there.
Mm.
It felt it I don't know, just really I had a really good vibe about it, and everybody was got on so well, and yeah, I think a lot of people just want to go off and do their own thing, didn't they? Because they're so
Yeah.
excited, and
Yeah.
great night, really great night.
So, what's the next venue coming up, Julia?
We got Halloween at the end of October, which is tomorrow. So we got Shore House
Oh yeah.
at Halloween at Shore House, and then I'm trying to get something in for November, but you know, if anyone's got any suggestions of where they'd like to go back to or any new venues, send them across, and we'll try and get an event in for November. We hope to go back to.
Lammy.
Oh yes, the Lamb. Yes, that's a good one. We hope
Jen's
to go
favourite
back
place.
to
That is.
Cogs
Go
Manor
back to the
next year.
land.
Oh yeah.
That's good. Hope to go back to Cogs Manor next year. We've got a
Oxford
few
Castle.
spaces. Where's that?
Oxford Castle.
June 2025. We're there. That's all booked
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's the convent place.
The old convent. Yeah, they've got some
Oh,
brilliant venues coming.
that's the beginning of. We got the convent booked in at the
January. 4th of
4th of
Jan.
January. Thanks, Jen. That's
Warrior.
Bombay Sapphire on the 21st of January. Sorry, 25th of January. We still got spaces for Bombay Sapphire. Still got some spaces for the Warrior. Paula's going to Warrior. She's coming on with us. Ahoy there! And I'm just seeing the convent, the old convent. We have we still got a few spaces left, but I don't
Great
know how
place.
many. I think we've probably only got about 10 spaces left on the convent in January. So that's going really well as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, we've probably only got about 10 spaces left for the convent. So yes, and that's the 4th of January. It's going really well, and
Excellent.
yeah.
So,
So
get over to the Paranation webpage, buy your ticket, come and meet us in person. The
got
old
some cool
convent,
events next year, haven't
cracking
we?
place. Yeah, cracking place, the old convent. But every venue we've had, we've always had good, you know, good reviews and all of that. So that, which is nice. They put all the hard work Julia does behind the scenes, nobody sees. But when you get good feedback, it makes it all worthwhile.
Mm.
You know, all the hard work. It's a lot goes into running
Oh,
an
thanks.
event, the health and safety, and so you forget the people that are running it behind the scenes, how long they need to spend on it just to get it up and running. And it's also trying to get the event. You know, email here, email there, contact this, contact them. You know, not everybody's free willing. Yeah, just come in. You've got to work on them. So you know, just remember behind the scenes who's working hard. You know, it takes a lot. So if there's no more questions, anybody got anything? Paula, would you like to ask anything?
No.
No.
I'm just glad you had a good night. Do you know what I mean?
I've just got
Yeah.
I've just got a payment now. Somebody's just paid me. I don't know what that's for.
Ooh.
I've just got a
Well.
booking. So
So you never know. Watch this page because we may go back to Shepton Mallet as just a team. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But that is a vast place when there's a couple of you. What? Oh, Jen's
be
bought a
good.
little toy. Oh, just bear with me a second. Not that sort of toy.
I think you have to do the human pendulum that when you're there next time, though.
Underneath.
Yeah, it
To
honestly,
see if
everybody
it comes
just
through.
That's house
they
for
just walked
ghosts.
in, didn't they?
House for
Oh,
ghosts.
Ah.
I like it. I like it.
Just what you need when you come in at 4 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? A ghost with a smile. Mm.
Oh,
Tell me what I'm doing Saturday.
What are you doing Saturday?
Psychic art.
Oh, Jen's going to a special psychic art class Saturday.
oh, interesting. Let us know how
I
you get
do.
on.
Yeah, we'll do.
Sort of push her up another level in her psychic art, so that'll be interesting. So she's really excited about going now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So if there's no more questions, we'll bid you good night.
Oh, well,
Oh, hang on.
Aren't we doing the Alienate podcast on Wednesday?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing an Alienate podcast on Wednesday with Andy D. Coates.
Mhm.
He does a lot about the supernatural and aliens and all of that, very well known out there. So we met his assistant at the conference, wasn't it? The Cryptid conference. So he's asked us to go on there so we can promote all of us together.
good.
So we are trying to get us out there, so we'll keep promoting. So stay tuned. So Wednesday, Alienate, it's called. Myself and Angela will be on there doing an hour podcast with them. Really interesting people, really nice lad, really knows his stuff. Very, very, very good, so which will be on there promoting all of us,
We've
so.
just got 2 bookings for the convent. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
really strange. As we were talking about the convent,
Yeah.
we just got 2 bookings for the convent as we were talking about spaces, which was really creepy in itself. We were talking about it and it just flashed up a PayPal payment, and I've just checked it and it's 2 spaces for the convent. So we got about 8 spaces for the convent now.
Good, isn't it?
Well,
So
the convent is
General.
the place where I saw the man in the basement and
No.
2 fellas and Jen, but I don't think Jen saw it. They saw a man come into the lounge and sit down and was
No.
watching them.
No, I didn't see it, but
They were telling you about, weren't they? And they were telling Jen about this man coming in and sitting down and watching them. So the convent is a brilliant, brilliant place. So get your tickets because that will sell fast.
Yeah.
And that is,
Stuart saw someone outside of the garden as well.
Jen said she would have seen the apparition. She hadn't been gas bagging like she does.
There's nothing wrong with chatting. Nothing wrong
She
with chatting.
chats to anybody, Jen does.
So anybody interested in the convent,
Yeah,
we've got about 8 places left.
Yeah. Or you can have a ticket for chatting to Jen. Because Jen will talk to anyone. She's not worried. So if you're a guest, go and chat to her, which will be there. We'll be there doing a psychic art or whatever. So only remains for me to say thank you for tuning in tonight and sending in your questions. And hopefully we answered and you enjoyed tonight. From all of us, stay safe, have a safe week. And we'll have a couple of guests next Monday talking. So please tune in, send in your questions. Say these 2 young lads that have done the Zach Bagans Museum in Las Vegas. So that'll be interesting, asking them to talk about that. So we're just finalising. It's for next Monday. Is that right, Angela, isn't it?
Yep.
So we're trying to get them in for next Monday. So it only remains me to say stay safe and have a really, really safe week. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.